Hello and welcome to the news. I am Ogochukwu Ona. It is nationwide. Senate has commended the recent directive of President Bola Tinubu to the National Security Advisor to establish forest guards to curb rising insecurity. Senate also suggested that the Nigeria Forest Security Service bill awaiting President's assent could be amended to accommodate the proposed forest guard. These were some of the adoptions by the Senate, sequel to a motion urging authorities to secure the release of a traditional ruler, Obalohun of Okoloke, James Ogunyade, who was abducted early Thursday morning in Yagba West local government area of Kogi State. Senate also urged the police to investigate the recent attacks in Benue South senatorial districts, during which 13 persons lost their lives. Senate has, in the meantime, set up a 20-member committee to organize a summit on national security with Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele as chairman. Senate has passed for second reading bill to establish National Agency for Malaria Eradication. Towards promoting growth and generating employment for Nigerian youth amidst the current economic landscape, the House of Representatives Committee on National Planning and Economic Development has held an interactive session with a delegation of the National Bureau of Statistics. Joshua Ogunjide tells us more.
The 10th House of Representatives is concerned about the effectiveness of some introduced economic policies that they alleged have been undermined by structural bottlenecks and supply chain inefficiencies, amongst other factors.
And the full year of 2024 economic performance report. The report showed that the nominal GDP in quarter 4 2024 was 78.37 trillion, which is higher than the figure that we have in quarter 4 of 2023. That was 65.91 trillion. So as we are saying that the economy is stabilizing, is growing, as doing better than we have before.
Considering the current economic landscape, the monetary authorities, as they meet next week, should consider a more accommodative stance that promotes growth and employment generation.
In another development, the African Diaspora Union, African Descendants in Diaspora Union, has presented a private bill, the African Descendants Citizenship Bill, to the National Assembly for legislative consideration.
Gone are the days that will be deprived of our rights, which is knowing a citizenship right, having it, sense of ownership. And that's why we're here today, to get the bill to a distinguished Senator Nwoko to pray and request that our wish and request will be granted.
All I have to do is to present this to my committee members who work around it. That's why I've called my SLA on drafting to look at it and say how we can make it practicable.
From the National Assembly, Joshua Ogunjide, NTA News.
In the meantime, the House of Representatives has condemned what it described as the agony that trailed the 2025 Joint Admission and Matriculation Board examination and resolved to investigate the matter. Ignatius Nkwo is standing by to tell us more on this.
The motion that came under matter of urgent public importance, and it was the first one. And well, actually, members were engaged on that particular motion. You saw interest, you saw emotions. As a Representative Adewale Adebayo described that issue, the circumstances of the 2025 JAMB result as an agony. He said that exercise did not just only witness massive failure, but also loss of life, as the House in its entirety made some resolutions, and particularly that there should be establishment of all the exam centers in all the 704 local governments across the states. And then they also resolved to invite the registrar for question and investigation. Now, but I have with me here a member who wants to talk on this particular motion. Thank you for joining us. Now, you saw that motion, you saw feelings, you saw emotions there in the chamber as regards to that 2025 JAMB. Now, what do you think drove that motion in the House?
It has been deliberated upon, discussed, and views were presented and discussed. We come to realize that there are a lot to be done on it, and the Speaker agreed that the investigation should go on so that the House will be availed with the required and necessary information to be able to take further actions. Despite the fact that the registrar has come out publicly to, first of all, for the first time, I had somebody coming out with remorseful to say, yes, he takes responsibility on behalf of JAM. He know that there were a lot of, problems that culminated into all this failure and the rest of it. I think the resolution is cogent, is very important, because the moment JAM or student have problem, the entire education ecosystem will be affected. So the resolution is perfect. The committee will investigate with the view to report back to the House to deliberate and see way forward.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Before then, 3 members in the chamber defected. Now, one member, Oluwoloke from Osun State, defected from the PDP to the APC. Another member from Kano, 2 members from Kano State, Kabiru Al-Hassan and Abdullahi Sani, all defected from the NNPP to the APC. Well, that defection witnessed a presence of people who came for solidarity, led by the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Omar Ganduje. Well, this is what will happen.
All right, thank you, Ignatius. And similarly, Lagos State University expresses its unwavering support for the Registrar of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, Professor Ishaq Oloyede. The university stands solidly with Professor Oloyede, affirming not only his courage and humility in this testing time, but also the depths of character, integrity that has become the hallmarks on his glittering career as a public servant, adding that his decision to subject the process to an internal technical review and admit shortcomings reflects his exceptional character and demonstrates a kind of leadership that is scarce in the Nigerian public space. The Deputy Registrar and Coordinator, Center for Information and Public Relations of the University, Thomas Onshashile Oluwayemisi, in a statement says, since taking office in 2016, Professor Oloyede has transformed JAMB through comprehensive reforms that have significantly improved examination credibility and transparency and increased public confidence in the examination body, attracting applause from far and near. The statement urges Nigerians to see this development not as a failure, but as an opportunity to strengthen the nation's examination systems further. Similarly, the University of Ilorin has also commended the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board's Registrar, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, for his transparent handling of the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination results controversy. The Vice-Chancellor, Professor Wahab Olasupo Egbewole, applauds Oloyede's leadership, citing his courage, honesty and integrity in admitting errors that affected over 300,000 candidates' results. Professor Egbewole's commendation highlights Oloyede's commitment to accountability and transparency, qualities that have earned him recognition and respect as a distinguished alumnus of the University of Ilorin. Benue State University of Agriculture, Science and Technology, Ihu Vandekia local government area has been officially approved by the National Universities Commission, NUC. Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alia announced the establishment of the university in 2024, citing the need to produce specialized graduates to boost the state's economy and align with its status as a food basket of the nation. The National Universities Commission went through the academic brief, master plan and the university law, certifying the institution ready for service. Presentation of certificates of recognition by NUC marked the official commencement of academic activities by the university 1 year after its establishment.
Of learning, character development, and societal transformation.
The purpose for this university, is to streamline the cost profile and have a university that will respond directly to the challenges of agricultural production.
By focusing on agriculture, science and technology, Benue State University of Agriculture, Science and Technology aims to produce graduates equipped with the skills necessary to drive economic growth, food security, and sustainable development. And now, still talking education, government is committed to strengthening its open and distance learning national policy framework. This position was presented by Deputy Director, University Education, Ministry of Education, Abdulkarim Olawale, who represented the minister at the 3rd Open and Distance Learning Conference. The conference, organized by the National Open University in collaboration with the Open, Distance and E-Learning Association of Nigeria, is to address the need to overcome inherited traditions and inefficiencies in distance learning.
We recognize its potential to expand access to quality education, especially in underserved communities, and to support lifelong learning for all.
From available indices, the Orgeland is growing in leaps and bounds, but therein lies a caution to its sustainability.
In 2050, Nigeria will be 500 million people. So we have to take open and distance learning, and that's where we are.
Let me also mention that in dual mode institutions, the fees which ODS students pay are used to subsidize the face-to-face students as IGR in ODS students, while ODS students are subjected to diverse abuse and harassment. This is not right.
The theme of the conference is Adaptive Pedagogies for the Future of Education, Connecting Learners, Technologies and Communities. President Bola Tinubu felicitates the governor of Benue State, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, as he marks his birthday on May 15. The president extols Governor Alia's compassion and humanitarian spirit, which is evident from his service in the priesthood and public office. He prays for God's continued blessings upon the governor on this special day. All right, we'll be heading to Lagos now, where Adeola will be giving us some of the reports that are trending in that zone. Hello, Adeola.
Thank you, Ogochukwu Ona. Welcome to Lagos. The family is a fundamental unit of society with crucial roles in the socialization and development of members, especially children. With present realities and emerging technologies playing major roles in the lives of individuals, how are they currently shaping society, and are the traditional family values still being upheld? Let's find out in this report put together by Mel Dori and presented from our studios.
The family is a pillar of strength that binds stronger ties of its members, and it is where core values such as love, friendship, cultures, ethics, and traditions are taught and imbibed, serving as the first role model for moral and ethical guidance needed to define a well-grounded individual in the society.
And family is not basically blood, related. Family is loyalty. Family is bonding.
If we want to create a balanced society, we have to start from the family.
Unfortunately, most of the values that once existed, which contributed to social cohesion, cultural preservation, ethical behavior, and development of responsible citizens, are gradually being eroded, posing various challenges to the larger society. The significant role of technology in shaping family dynamics and interactions, for instance, can either support or challenge family life.
When there is no, this phone of a thing, we watch TV together in the sitting room. Parents are able to monitor whatever the children watch. They have access to to phone on their own. They can watch any movie.
You shouldn't control them. You shouldn't change them. They should be able to say, no, I don't want to be a slave to social media.
The international community, however, attaches great importance to families, and this is why it provides opportunities to promote awareness of issues relating to families. There is therefore the need to continuously promote a strong foundation for individuals' well-being and development, while nurturing social bonds and transmitting cultural values across generations for a healthier and more resilient society.
Efforts by the federal government to harness culture for the nation's economic diversification and to foster unity has received commendation from Oba Adeyeye Enitan-Ogunwusi, the Oni of Ife. This acknowledgement was made at a forum of prominent Yoruba leaders in Lagos.
For the first time in history of our country, the federal government of Nigeria is officially recognizing the essence of the traditional belief and the strong background of we the Yoruba people.
Culture is the way of life, and African traditional religion is a rich tapestry of beliefs, rituals, and spiritual practices that have been passed down through generations. One of the most prominent Yoruba traditional worship is the Orisha religious practice, and it has grown with millions of adherents across the globe, especially in Africa, Brazil, and other European countries.
Even with the unimaginable hardships, these communities preserved their spiritual beliefs.
Our brothers in Brazil guarded the flame. They preserved our songs, our prayers, our rituals unaltered, while we in Africa drank from the wells and forgot our own.
The spirit of ecumenism is what is so central to the Orisha worship.
Culture and tradition have adapted to modern challenges while still maintaining core values and beliefs, and have formed the cultural backbone for many communities. Exploring cultural orientation for the nation's diversification, experts say, is a good move by the government that can create economic opportunities.
Saudi Arabia makes about $312 billion from spiritual tourism. So why can't we?
These traditions are not just relics from the past, but living, breathing entities that continue to influence contemporary life. And those are the stories from Lagos. Nationwide will continue in Benin after this break.
Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Welcome to Benin. Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpewolo has urged traditional rulers to synergize with the Tinubu-led administration towards a better Nigeria, where the dreams of the ordinary citizens would be realized. This was when he played host to the South-South Monarchs Forum at the Government House. Goodluck Enaini has the details.
The need to create alternative choices for development of the South-South zone, addressing insecurity and other areas of tackling poverty, with the traditional rulers taking the lead, were issues before Governor Okpewolo and his guests. The governor, who described the unity of the region as catalyst for its development, urged the royal fathers to support President Tinubu to succeed in his agenda for the country.
I want to beg the traditional rulers to help the president, to support him. This area of insecurity are area that I'm actually really begging the traditional ruler to cooperate with government so that we can move this country forward.
The Vice Chairman, South-South Monarch Forum, His Royal Majesty Major General Felix Mujakperu retired, appreciated the governor for the progress made in addressing insecurity, promoting the traditional institution, and the restoration of the full rights of the Oba of Benin. He, however, appealed to President Bola Tinubu for the inclusion of traditional rulers in the South-South in strategic government programs and policies in tackling insecurity and other critical areas of development. The meeting is holding at a time when the government of Edo State is embarking on what many described as a total revamp of the entire system in Benin. Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
Towards sustaining cordial relationship and promoting rapid development of the Niger Delta region, the NTA Benin is partnering the Niger Delta Development Commission, Edo State, to achieve this feat. The Zonal Director, NTA Benin, Tenny Ajayi, led management team on a courtesy visit to the Commission. The report.
The Zonal Director, NTA Benin, and our management team were received by the NDDC Commission. The Zonal Director, Tenny Ajayi, said, with NTA's mandate of informing, educating, and promoting national interest, NTA is set to use our numerous platforms to partner the Commission.
We propose exploring the following areas of collaborations, ma'am. Documentary productions highlighting NDDC's projects and impacts, coverage of NDDC's events and initiatives, joint production of educational programs promoting development and environmental sustainability.
In response, the director, NDDC Benin, Mrs. Mercy Babawale, described the visit as timely.
We're very privileged to have you. We are glad you came, and we look forward to a very cordial, mutually beneficial relationship between us and your organization. Luckily for us, we have a very well-formed corporate affairs department at our headquarters, who already have built relationships over the time with various organizations, including NTA.
As part of the 25th year of the Commission, they presented a plaque to NTA Benin.
And that's it from Benin. It's back to Ogochukwuka in Abuja for continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Uduak, for the contributions. And nations have commended Nigeria for a successful hosting of the Rabat process and have expressed commitment to drive migration policies for sustainable development in their respective countries. This was during the closing ceremony of the first thematic meeting in Abuja. Ruth Agwele reports.
It is the last day of the thematic meeting of the Rabat process, as participating countries reached a consensus on promoting youth inclusion and migration governance.
The future we seek requires bold partnership. Let us move from conversation to coordination, from policy to practice. Let us remind the world that migration, at its best, is a celebration of what we can build across borders.
We need to move from inclusion to the co-creation of a space of dialogue. And this space of dialogue is the Rabat process. We will keep exploring ways in which to find how to make more sustainable your participation in the process.
We will achieve a lot in terms of implementation of particularly the youth to be involved in migration process, to be involved in the policy making, to be involved in implementation.
As the thematic meeting winds down, participants are optimistic in changing the narrative and promised to strengthen partnerships with a shared vision to explore ways of maximizing the potential of African youth. In Abuja, Ruth Aguele, NTA News.
The Ooni of Ife, Adeyeye Enitan Ogunsi Ojaja II, has commended President Bola Tinubu for his visionary leadership in establishing the Southwest Development Commission. Oba Ogunsi, who is also the permanent chairman, Southern Nigeria Traditional Rulers Council, applauded the president on the nomination of Dr. Charles Akinola as the managing director, chief executive officer, and other members of the board of the commission, describing it as a visionary choice and a historic turning point for the region's developmental trajectory. And now talking politics, members of the All Progressives Congress, comprising 7 governors, ministers, and National Working Committee, have met to review recent developments around the party and governance of the country. The meeting commended the implementation pace of the Renewed Hope agenda and pledged to continue to support the ideas of the APC's transformative leadership. Correspondent Abubakar Akwanga reports.
The elaborate session, which was held closed door for several hours, revealed that APC is making a significant difference in the governance of Nigeria, especially in the management of high-profile foreign debts.
Today, Mr. President is being vindicated. Gradually, international organizations like World Bank, IMF, are now beginning to commend the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for taking bold decisions in embarking on a reform-driven government.
The session also reaffirmed support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and scored his administration high in the delivery of the Renewed Hope agenda to Nigerians and spoke on May 29 preparations.
As we reach our midpoint, it is also important for all of us, the presidential communication team, the national communication team, everyone to come together so that we can look at our messaging and fine-tune it so that Nigerians can be better informed and enlightened about our activities and programs.
And our meeting went well. We put our heads together, we discussed, and we agreed that going forward, working as a family, we must struggle to serve Nigeria better.
The meeting also resolved to ensure the administration of the party affairs thrive in line with emerging trends and appealed for support and solidarity at all levels. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
And in other news, the Department of State Services, DSS, says it has filed a lawsuit against Professor Pat Utomi over his alleged attempt to establish what it called a shadow government in Nigeria. In a statement, the DSS revealed that it lodged the suit at the Federal High Court in Abuja, urging the court to declare the move unconstitutional. Professor Utomi, a former presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, in the 2007 election, is the sole defendant in the suit filed on May 13 by senior advocate of Nigeria, Akiolu Kehinde. The suit alleges that Utomi's actions were intended to incite unrest and destabilize the country. The DSS argues that the idea of a shadow government represents not just a political aberration, but a direct threat to Nigeria's constitutional framework and the legitimacy of its democratically elected government. In a vibrant display of pride, professionalism and partnership, the Nigerian Air Force opened its gates to the public for its highly anticipated Open Day celebration, a symbolic gesture aimed at strengthening the bond between the military and the civilians it serves. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello captured the memorable moments.
From the early hours, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement as families, students, civil society organizations and media representatives poured into the NAF base in Abuja to witness firsthand the operations, assets and human capital that power one of Africa's most formidable air forces. The event underscored NAF's commitment to openness, national security and the shared responsibility of building a safer Nigeria.
It's taxpayers' money that is being used to buy these airplanes. It's taxpayers' money that is being used to pay our salaries. So we appreciate you all.
Fighter jets, transport aircraft and helicopters flew in precision formation, demonstrating skill, discipline and technological prowess, symbolizing the readiness and reach of the Nigerian Air Force in defending Nigeria's territorial integrity. Both the young and old had the rare opportunity to interact with pilots, engineers and air traffic controllers, gaining insight into careers in aviation and national service, as such transparency helps demystify military operations and foster national unity.
Like this is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to witness how our great country is protecting us in this area.
And I think one of the things that stood out for me today was when the senior officer now used the word, he said, "We know we use your taxpayers' money." So for me, for the first time, I'm seeing a sense of accountability.
The NAF Open Day was more than platforms and uniforms, but understanding and unity, as well as a lasting experience that will linger in the minds of Nigerians for a lifetime. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
We now cross over to Kaduna, where Umar Ajengi will be telling us the latest reports there, including that FEMA is rehabilitating the Jaji Bridge.
Gochukuka Ona FEMA is doing a lot along this corridor. The Jaji Bridge along Kaduna-Zaria Kano Dual Carriageway, which was closed due to damage done by suspected vandals, is currently under repairs. The officer in charge of Federal Road Maintenance Agency, Kaduna State, Ilyas Maliki, urged Nigerians to safeguard public assets in the interests of development. Suraj Abdullahi reports.
This bridge by the right lane on the dual carriage in Jaji while embarking from Kaduna to Zaria has shown some signs of collapse due to the vandal activities, who removed some iron, leading to the closure of the bridge to save lives and property. Repairs of the bridge is about 90% completion at the moment. While inspecting the ongoing rehabilitation of the bridge, officer in charge of the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, Kaduna State Office, Elias Amelki, charged Nigerians to safeguard the public asset as they are critical to the socio-economic development of Nigeria.
This failure of the bridge is as a result of vandals, because some of the beams, the diaphragm beams under the bridge are made of steel, and we found out that they were being removed. We always appeal to the communities to always own these infrastructures, because these infrastructures are for all of us, the Nigerians. So we should always be vigilant and mindful of what is going on.
We try our best to follow the specification because we are professionals, we are all professionals, so we know the implication of not following the specifications.
Motorists and community members appreciated government for the efforts in repairing the damaged parts of the bridge.
We feel very happy and we really appreciate the work. As you can see, we are always following one-way traffic, and others, we were having so many accidents around. So when they open it, will have very easy access to pass anytime, whether in the night, or we will be very happy to open this road.
The road is expected to open soon. In Kaduna, Suraj Abdullahi, NTA News.
The Nigerian Navy has reiterated its commitment to strengthening civil-military relations through impactful community-based projects, a non-kinetic approach aimed at improving education and rural development as well as security. Correspondent Haruna Muhammad reports that the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, made this known during the inauguration of the newly renovated government secondary school in Gwagwada, Chukun local government area of Kaduna State.
The Special Intervention Quick Impact Project of the Nigerian Navy, facilitated to Government Secondary School Gwagwada, Chukun local government area of Kaduna State, is a complete renovation of all classrooms, electrification, and furnishing. The intervention is part of the Chief of Naval Staff's Quick Impact Project, expected to provide a more conducive environment for effective teaching and learning.
It reflects the Navy's dedication to contributing meaningfully to the development of selected communities, to foster national security.
The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, represented by Rear Admiral Abdul Majid Ibrahim, Chief of Safety and Standard, explained that beyond national security defense, the project serves as a non-kinetic approach to tackling insecurity.
The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, Admiralty Medal, launched the Special Quick Intervention Project in 2024 to facilitate the attainment of the reinvigorated Nigerian Navy's civil-military cooperation's mandate and to contribute to the ongoing federal government renewed hope agenda.
Kaduna State Governor Obasani commended the Nigerian Navy for the initiative. He emphasized that such initiatives are vital for improving access to quality education and uplifting community development.
I'm overwhelmed, and I can assure you, I hope I will have the strength, the muscle, to really explain what I have seen, what has been appreciated here to the governor.
The Quick Impact Project in Gwagwada is one of many projects by the Nigerian Navy in Kaduna within a few months. Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
And that is the size of our bulletin from this end Enugu Network Center. We take it off from here, but after these messages, don't go away. Thank you for watching.
Welcome to Enugu Network Center. Driven by a common goal to bridge the gap between skills acquisition and the labor market, stakeholders converged on Enugu to evolve ways of advancing technical and vocational education and training in Tibet, as well as youth empowerment in Nigeria. The two-day forum brought together technical experts, policymakers, and educators from the southeast and south regions of the country. Susan Eze report.
Addressing the issue of shortage of skilled labor in Nigeria's industrial sector is crucial for boosting economic growth and fostering a thriving business environment in the country. This need has brought these stakeholders from 6 states in the southeast and south-south regions Abia, Akwa Ibom, Delta, Edo, Imo, and Enugu states to engage in strategic discussions and policy dialogues that will result in key strategies for the advancement of technical, vocational education and training, TVET, in the regions.
More than ever, we need policies that prioritize skill development as a cornerstone of regional prosperity. And Enugu State has been deliberate in ensuring that we recruit the right leadership and team that will push the implementation of these transformational policies.
Convener, Executive Secretary, Enugu State Science Technical Vocational Schools Management Board, GIZ Sky Component Manager TVET, all harped on the relevance of skilled labor to industrial development.
This forum is a direct response to the critical challenges facing the TVET, including the need for stronger industry partnerships.
There is a growing need to prioritize green TVET programming, equipping our young people with the skills required for emerging green sectors such as renewable energy.
Prepare the youth not to become academics, but to feed themselves and to have skills.
The forum, with the theme From Classroom to Careers, Revolutionizing Technical Education for Regional Prosperity, is designed to strengthen collaborations, drive innovation, and shape policy reforms in Enugu. Susan Eze, NTA News.
And the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Southeast Zone has re-nominated Ude Okoye to complete his term in office as the National Secretary of the party. The party stakeholders are optimistic that the unanimous decision will bring an end to the lingering dispute over the matter and enthrone peace and unity in the party. Chika Ugu reports that the decision was reached at the party's zonal meeting held in Enugu.
The meeting was convened in accordance with directive to the Southeast Zonal Executive Council to nominate a candidate for the office of the National Secretary, following considerations of the report of a panel set to review the Supreme Court's judgments. The judgment, which brought an end to the protracted legal tussle over the position of the National Secretary, held that the issue of leadership of a political party was an internal affair, hence the meeting. In a 4-point communiqué after extensive deliberation, the Zonal Council unanimously recommended Ude Okoye to complete his term in office as National Secretary. They are hoping that this decision would offer a pathway to peace, unity, progress, and stability in the party.
In the event that our position is not properly implemented by the party, the Southeast PDP as a family will be compelled to reconsider our relationship with PDP going forward.
Unity is essentially required so that we do not allow any room for division.
He has convened this meeting for a very serious business, and we will remain solidly behind him. Any action he takes thereafter will all follow him.
Other party members expressed satisfaction with the decision reached. The meeting brought together serving and past governors, members of national and state assemblies, House of Representative members, among other PDP stalwarts. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
And as a pocket from here, let's now rejoin Abuja for continuity.
Thank you, Comfort, for that contribution. A sizable percentage of farmers in Kano are yet to realize the importance of soil tests to ensure its suitability and adaptability to a particular crop. Yahanasu Hassan Barao reports that lack of this understanding propels the federal government to roll out soil test programs in the country to aid farmers in undermining the nature of crops to be planted in a farming community.
Musa Sabo is one of those thousands of farmers with scant understanding of soil fertility.
Mu taɓa ɗaukar wannan ƙasa mun kai ta don a gwada mana mu ga wannan irin taki za ta ɗauka ba.
What we normally do is shifting cultivation, an idea we inherited from our forefathers. But me, for over 30 years, I have been into farming, but I don't have idea on soil test.
This is a reason that prompted the federal government to complement the idea of soil tests. Though preparing for this year's farming season, the likes of Musa must have an idea of the nature of the soil to plant.
Soil is a living thing. Soil has life and it can go sick. When it goes sick, then it requires the right attention. And so to do that, we are bringing this to the attention of our farmers. And the idea is that all Nigerian farmers will have access, because we intend to have soil testing facilities in all the 774 local governments.
The idea is that farmers must obtain accurate data on soil composition before embarking on planting, as it will go a long way in producing more to enhance food security in the country. In Kano, Yohannes Hassan Barrow, NTA News.
And from Kano, we head to Delta, where Nigeria, the reporter is telling us that Nigeria still accounts for the highest malaria burden in the world. According to the 2022 World Malaria Report, malaria also accounts for 31% of estimated deaths in the West African region. Ngozi Mokwede is the reporter, and she's examining measures the Delta State government is taking to curb the menace.
Malaria has remained a public health concern in Nigeria. According to reports, it is more responsible for mortality of under 5 children and pregnant women than other diseases. In Delta State, there is free health insurance for children under 0 to 5 years and pregnant women. But the state still faces significant malaria burden, with reported prevalence rates exceeding 30%. The riverine region of the state is where transmission of malaria is continuous. Experts say the disease still requires the effective mobilization of resources to end the burden through the designing of innovative tools in order to fast-track its elimination.
The success of this campaign would be determined not just by the vaccine that we have in our cold store, but by the commitment of every stakeholders in this room and beyond.
We are investing not just in the health of our children today, but in the future of our communities and the nation.
To match words with action, the wife of the state government has been decorated as net ambassador, and she in turn decorated spouses of 25 local government areas to ensure that treated nets get to the environment through monitoring and campaign. Other stakeholders have also joined in the fight against malaria through advocacy. In Asaba, Ngozi Mokwede, NTA News.
Still talking health, the federal government has inaugurated new health facilities at the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital, Gwagwalada, targeted at meeting President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda of transforming the nation's health system and improving population health outcomes. The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, who delivered President Tinubu's message at the project's inauguration, says the diverse reforms and investments implemented in the health sector are already yielding the desired results. Professor Pate, while inaugurating the new health facilities, including computerized tomography scan, CT scan, male and female surgical wards, assisted reproductive technology units, and core duty block, as well as quarters, explains that the targets of national health programs is already driving the delivery of quality and affordable health services to Nigerians.
Structural projects completed here at the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital in Gwagwalada, which we are very grateful to commission on behalf of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is just one example of all the federal tertiary hospitals in Nigeria. There are similar projects ongoing just in the last 2 years to change the nature of the healthcare system.
President, through the Federal Minister of Health, have been very, very supportive, at least for the past 2 years. We have seen a range of equipment for clinical service delivery, equipment for teaching and training, infrastructure to support staff welfare,
is a testament of what the government has for the people. Good health services, to take it to the best, to meet competitive any part of the world.
Nigeria wants the federal government to prioritize research funding in alternative medicine to advance breakthroughs. Elizabeth Omoye reports that this was at a health forum where discussions also focused on mental well-being.
Recognizing the importance of alternative medicine requires proactive, holistic and integrated approaches to promote an effective health system. Experts say alternative medicine practices rely on natural remedies such as herbs, supplements and specific diets. This gathering of erudite scholars in the field of alternative medicine aims to amplify benefits of God's healing power through medicine. Dr. Jofia is a cancer survivor.
Every plant is very important. You just cut off any plant, no.
Our forefathers, 80, 100 years, they do surgery, they do a lot of things, they cure, but there was no orthodox medicine like now. And what do they use? They use alternative medicine. That the government should support us.
The forum also analyzed their holistic approach to alternative medicine, which focuses on emotional and physical well-being.
Issues of people breaking down constantly with health issues and things. People associate it to, now your village people, now this. No, sometimes it's the state of the mind. When the state of your mind is unhealthy, everything becomes toxic in you. So we need women to once in a while unwind, find time to relax, do that thing that they love doing, and also take care of themselves.
They recommend improved funding in alternative medicine research, regular medical checks, and exercise to aid mental health. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
The federal government has inaugurated the Katampe Smart Divisional Police Headquarters and the groundbreaking of our new 6-man rank and file quarters in Abuja. Francis Form reports.
The Katampe community in the FCT has for years yearned for a befitting police facility. That long-standing need has now been met with the completion of a modern divisional police headquarters, an achievement made possible by the Nigeria Police Trust Fund under the Renewed Hope agenda. This state-of-the-art facility stands as a testament to the federal government's commitment to strengthening internal security, safeguarding lives and property, and enhancing police professionalism.
This is your new base of operation. Use it well. Uphold the highest standards of professionalism, integrity, and community engagement. Let this station be known for prompt response, fairness, and respect for human rights.
Every project must bring us closer to a police force that earns the trust of the people. To the officers who work from this facility, use it as a platform for excellence, maintain it with pride, let it reflect the professionalism and that the nation expects from you.
Equipped with perimeter fence, a gatehouse, CCTV surveillance, a sentry post, and a 30 kVA solar inverter system provided in partnership with the Rural Electrification Agency.
And I'm here to commit that we will continue to work with the Nigerian Police Trust Fund in wherever you deploy new or renovate infrastructure to provide us with this electricity. We will be a party in rewriting the history in this country.
In a symbolic move to support the welfare of officers, the event also featured the groundbreaking of a 6-man rank and file quarters within the same premises. This initiative recognizes the critical link between officers' welfare and effective service delivery. Francis from NTA News.
And that's Nationwide today. Many thanks for watching. Do have a blessed evening.